I generally always forget to silence my devices, but I remember today. Alright, I think we're ready. Welcome everybody. My name is Craig. We are back with some more of The Boys. What episode are we on? Episode 6. Only 3 episodes left. On the last episode of The Boys, we had A-Train tell Homelander about Popclaw and about her keeping info, and Homelander ordered him to kill her. He did kill her. So we've lost Popclaw. Homelander celebrated by going and sucking on some boobs. And then on the other side of things, we had a lot of Jesus. We had baby laser weapons. We found out that they are creating the soups with the V. And we found out that Maeve is an alcoholic. That was the gist. It was a great episode. Probably one of my favourites of the season so far. I say one of because honestly, every episode has blown me away. You know, it's really hard to pick a favourite episode. Although the episode with the plane crash was pretty stellar as well. You know. So yeah, episode 6. Shit is hitting the fan a bit. Not hitting the fan, but like Ravager, which is what I'm calling the woman. She Wolverined out at the end on Black Noir. She got cut. She healed. We know that she's healed now. I legit thought that she was gone. So I assume we're going to deal a bit more with her this episode. We also have the situation where Frenchie has been outed, so we're going to need to deal with that. You know, the closer the boys get to the soups, to the 7, the more obviously the dangerous it's going to get. But like, it's going to get exponentially harder now that Frenchie has been outed, because he's kind of out of the game now. You know, he can't. Excuse me. He's going to have to sit back and be the man behind the computer, I suppose. Although probably not, you know. But if Ravager is entering the mix, if she does join them, they're going to have to change up the name. It can't be The Boys anymore. I'm assuming The Boys is referencing to them. I don't actually know. Although they did mention getting her home, so maybe she's just going to... They're just going to get her home or something. I don't know. Anyway, enough of me rambling. I'm going to jump in, check out the new episode. Very excited. Let's do this. Is this an advert for what? That's not appropriate. I love it.
Was it a breakdown or a triumph?
Of course, my thoughts are with Starlight and...
Regret is not rape, I just saw that. Jesus.
What I want to know?
Sorry?
Who put the fucking blanket on the bed?
Randy Setdeck.
Who's Randy Setdeck?
He's over there.
Randy, why? You fucking asshole. Amateur fuck.
What just happened?
What just happened?
About Homelander.
Homelander's a black hole. Never had any public records and never will. However, every single other suit...
No public records.
Juiced up lab rats. My God. I'm trying to give...
Could Homelander be the first?
Talk here,
And maybe
and this... Frenchie.
V
Controller, please.
is derived from him.
Controller.
Sriracha hot chili sauce. I approve.
She's not...
Oh, she's getting chewed out of it.
Sorry, I don't...
It was my big idea to book you for the Believe Expo.
Oh.
What could go wrong, I thought?
At least I don't have to kiss your ass anymore.
She mad.
Fired Ashley? It was actually a mutual decision. She wanted to explore different career paths, and we wished her... You are a selfish, arrogant child. Wow. Back in Iowa...
That is not
I bet
true.
you watched a lot of cool
At all.
movies, right? Show a little fucking gratitude and let us do our job.
Man, she's a cunt. They're all cunts in this fucking vault.
No. And no Noxema commercials. And I want my old uniform back.
Fuck yeah.
I want to save people. Then I think we may need to reconsider your position in the 7. And I think that firing an employee after she reported sexual assault on live TV might take
Oh, yes.
Well, I hope we can count on your discretion. Sorry, I don't do discretion. I have a lot to think about.
Haha, yes. She's good at holding in her emotions, I tell you. She knows she fucked up.
Go. No. No? What is going on with you, man?
He got no V.
You Popclaw, right?
What? I don't,
You guys were in Teenage Kicks together?
Oh, that's a sore spot.
I heard she passed away, yeah?
You really stood for something. Now, pretty sure that was just written by the marketing guys.
Oh, quick, get some burn cream. She gotta put some burn cream on that burn. Oh.
Tattoo fuck though on your ass. What's that gonna do?
You know, I've seen you eat ice cream.
Oh my god.
There's only about one choice for you, no? T'es consume the entire pint.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to.
But you must.
All right. You want some
That
where
was
we're
great.
You know, the other day I wanted to talk to my
Collateral
friend
damage
about this,
survivors.
but I couldn't.
Oh.
That's why this group is. I just wish he'd been a little more gentle with my spine.
It's about acceptance, isn't it?
Oh. Oh, that's the guy that was in Vought.
Hey, everybody. She climaxed and accidentally turned into ice. Just for a second. But I was,
Oh.
still in there at negative 346 degrees. It snapped off. The crazy thing is, time to move on.
Give him the stick.
You back off, or I'll shove this stick where your dick used to be.
Oh.
You should be out there with a fucking chainsaw going after him.
Bunch of scared fucking rabbits.
I'm gonna need you to make a public apology. And you're going to be taking a sabbatical from the Seven.
Oh, shit.
We are going to be stationing you. Some of the other women speak up, so we need to get ahead of it.
Okay, there may have been a misunderstanding, I know that. Caused Starlight a great deal of pain. And I
Believed
sincerely
encounter was
apologize
consensual.
for this.
Oh man, I hope she fucking does a
Though
rebuttal.
at the time, I believed that our encounter was
Fuck him.
consensual.
Our new movie, Insurrection. It's really exciting. It's
Black
my first,
Noir
movie
Insurrection.
with
Oh, it's Seth Rogen.
Cinematic universe, the VCU.
New York.
Damn it! I want more Black Noir. He's just popping up every now and again.
Who can see.
The Mesmerizer. Oh, is this?
secrets from me.
Is this the guy that they were talking about? Mesmer? Oh shit! That's what's his name? In The Sixth Sense, Haley something. Shockwave, that was his name. Tara Reid. Billy Zane, he was in the last episode as well.
Hey, Cleo. Remember your old man?
Hi, Charles.
I just want to know you don't hate me.
I don't really know you.
Homelander right there.
Oh, what?
I know this because she got tagged in that security camera right there.
Oh, that's the video he was watching.
Especially not the soup.
She's not like the rest, though. You know, she's really not.
You never met toys you never played with. Hardy Boy books that you never read.
It's all a lie.
And then I asked you.
Please do it for me.
It was actually my mom who.
I shouldn't have been surprised that it was all lies. Especially when they said he has no personal files, he has no history. Here we go, we're gonna get answers. Give us a name. Oh. It's all only recent stuff. Oh.
Everyone relax. Just. I can patch you up better than any of those oxy junkies in the ER, or I can break your other wrist. You decide.
The great options he has there.
Do you have any bandages?
Sounds good. Does it taste like lies? I got your phone linked to my phone.
Oh, what are they doing?
Never turn up to your work.
Dickheads.
Worried about you.
I had a bad night.
We're setting up a shot for later. B-roll on the building.
Bitch is right.
You can cut it, guys.
Oh my god.
With red rays behind it?
What does that mean?
It's the flag of the Shining Light Liberation Army.
Shining light.
You're dating a terrorist.
Was he just left somewhere as a baby and that's the blanket he was left in, maybe? And that's why he has no history, nobody knows where he came from. So the blanket was the only real thing in the house then.
They killed her parents. They kidnapped her and her brother. Forced them to be soldiers.
Oh, she was forced into it.
Her name's Kimiko.
Kimiko! We got a name! That's a nice name.
Take it back to the safe house.
Yeah! Kimiko
I'm gonna go
has
see
joined
Rena.
the party.
Fuck off, wanker.
It wasn't on porpoise. Nice.
She's speaking your truth.
A formal guarantee that Homelander will be prosecuted under the full extent of the law.
Any of that?
How would they contain him?
If you push him too hard,
You're fucking scared.
I'm fucking terrified. And you should be too.
Other plans.
Starlight, I hope you can forgive me.
Battered and beaten, a phoenix rose from the ashes. Citizen Starlight, coming this fall from Vault.
The house always wins.
You probably don't remember, but we've met before.
Oh shit!
Oh, skinny white guy, British guy.
Oh no!
Where are these from?
He fucking probably knows their location if he read Kimiko. Kimiko? Kimiko. Oh, does he recognize him? From the stare down?
It's my phone.
Oh, they're fucked! Did he recognize Huey? Huey was on the phone as well. Oh! I feel like something bad is gonna happen. It's not gonna end on a good note, right?
Huey.
Oh, shit. Haha, knew it couldn't end on a good note. Everything was going way too nice. Fuck. Well, that was an episode. I mean, I'm just gonna say it again. Another fucking unbelievable episode. Yeah, I took a lot of notes again. A lot happened. We got a name, Kimiko. Kimiko, wasn't it? Yeah, awesome. Her little backstory was good. I like it. I like how everything played out with her. You know, she seems to be sticking around for a while, and I feel like they're going to need her with what happened at the end. Yeah. So does that mean that Homeland, like, is Huey outed now? Because there was a picture of Huey on that phone, right? Because they said skinny white guy, which was Huey. And Homelander would surely recognize him because he did the baptism scene with him. So, like, but they're all out now. You know, they've all been made. So next episode, I assume, is going to be fucking insane and crazy for them. This episode, for me, I loved it so much because, like, so many things that I wanted to happen happened. But then it kind of went the other way then for a load of other stuff. Like the Starlight versus Stillwell at the start. And Starlight giving it back to her and basically saying, fuck you, I'm going to come out. And then Stillwell just completely flips that around on her and gets the deep to fucking come out and then turns it in her favor, you know. She's, as I said, since the very fucking start of the show, she is very good at what she does. And Starlight really underestimated her here, you know. She should have... I mean, she still could, you know. All she has to do is come out and say that he blackmailed me into doing this, you know. A little bit more knowledge or a little bit more information from her side of things could sway it again. But I don't know if she would do that. Yeah, that was good. I've got a lot of theories about a Homelander as well, but I'm going to get the Homelander probably towards the end because it was a big Homelander episode for for him as a character and his backstory and stuff. Even though we only got a little bit of his backstory, but I feel like I can piece it together a little bit. It's just a guess, but I'll keep that to the end. Yeah, all the Maeve scenes were good this episode as well. Like, I feel like more so now this episode, but I felt it all show that she was the only good one. We got Starlight and Kimiko and Maeve, right? But most of the other Supes that we've seen are pretty bad. Black Noir we haven't seen a whole lot of, but he did fucking murder Kimiko. You know, and I know like the circumstances and that, but he could have taken her out instead of just stabbing her viciously over and over again. But I've been saying it from the start that Maeve seems like the normal one and the good one, and I still feel like she could be the catalyst in taking them down, because she would have a lot of dirty secrets from the Seven and Vought in particular. But I liked all of her stuff this episode. All the scenes with Starlight were really good. Like, she definitely, I feel like she definitely, more so at the start of maybe joining the Seven, but she's definitely very like Starlight. But the difference is, instead of combating the corporate side of things, the Vought side of things, she kind of succumbed to it and gave into it, you know. But I feel like she still is, or at least was, good. But she didn't have a backbone pretty much to stand up to them, whereas Starlight is the opposite. She succumbed at first, but now she's kind of standing up for herself and that. So I feel like that's the difference between them, but I feel like they're pretty similar with what we've seen so far anyway. But I do feel like what they've shown of Maeve, she could be the one to... I feel like she would do it already. She's just scared of Homelander. You know, that's what everyone is. Homelander is the driving force for the what was Susan, was it, the FBI, the CIA agent going against Homelander and Vought. It's because Homelander is fucking there and he just wreck people. Like, they have, like, how would they contain him, you know? Unless with the V now, they could, probably a season 2 thing, if they went this direction, they could think of some way to either completely neutralize the powers or temporarily neutralize the powers. You know, that could be a thing going forward, because they have a sample of the V, so they could reverse engineer it or something. I don't know. The collateral damage support group was both funny and sad. You know, the story with the guy, that was the same guy. I didn't catch his name, but that was the same guy. He was the doing marketing at Vought. He was in, because I called him out because he was in the very first episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He was the gay guy that was doing the promotion for the gang. Yeah, his story, man. What was the Ice Princess? And they were having sex, and she she froze on climax and snapped his dick off. Oh, that's awful. You know, Huey will need to wear a pair of sunglasses if he has sex with Starlight, because otherwise he might get blinded. That is, it's brutal, you know. And hearing that and seeing how miserable everybody was in that group, and then it just flips when fucking Butcher gets almost handed the stick. It's crazy. It's crazy the hate he has for the Supes, and it kind of made me a bit sad at the end how disappointed he was with Huey for going against him. You know, he's definitely been trying to get Huey to hate the Supes as much as him, and I don't think Huey's going to do that. You know, because Huey didn't let the hate seep in. You know, he doesn't blame every Supe for what happened to Robin, whereas with Butcher, it's the opposite. He thinks all Supes are bad, and I'm hoping now that with Kimiko on their side, that could be a thing that might be changes his tune, but I don't know. I'm worried for what's coming next with what happened at the end, you know, because I like the boys together, and I like Butcher, and I hope they can turn him around with his universal hate of the Supes, you know. So hopefully that is a thing that happens, but I don't know. We got some great guest stars this episode. We had Tara Reid, we had Billy Zane. We had Billy Zane last episode as well, and I forgot to talk about it. We had Seth Rogen, Haley Joel Osment, I think his name is, right? Yeah, cool. Tara Reid and Billy Zane were in it for a second, and Seth Rogen, but it's cool to see Haley Joel Osment, I think it is. Sorry, it's been a long time. I think Silicon Valley was the last thing I seen him in, and I loved him in it. He was Keenan Feldspar in it. But it's great to see him and stuff again. I enjoy him. I didn't really enjoy his character in this, though, the way it went at the end. But I can kind of see it from his perspective, you know. Obviously, he kind of did it for his own personal gain. But the boys coming in and doing what they didn't seem at face value like the good guys, you know. But what they did for him, you know, getting to see his daughter. It could have been the fact that his daughter kind of didn't want to see him. That could have been what turned him around to go with Homelander. But that's after completely fucking everything up now. Something to do with drugs is why he lost custody of his child. But we didn't get any proper insight. I'm delighted with what happened to the Deep. I kind of wish that... it still could happen, but I kind of wish that the full story got out. That Starlight got it out ahead of him. The porpoise joke was good. We got a definitive timeline here as well. They said what was her name? Becca went missing 8 years ago, which would make it 2020 in the show. Because it said 2012 on the thing, so it's 2020 in the show. Because I only asked that last episode, was there a definitive timeline where this is going on, you know, because we didn't get a year prior to that, so it's very current. I thought it was honestly going to be a few years in the past, because I can't remember when this came out. So, cool to get that. Bad to get... Good to get it, but horrible what happened with Butcher's wife. I really thought that was going to connect in with the Mallory files somehow, but it didn't. We didn't get full details. Like, does he know that... How does he know... I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Does he know definitively that Homelander raped her? Because it said that he raped her, and then she went to the seat and sat there for 3 hours and then left. And she was never seen again. Unless she went to Butcher first and then went to the seat. But that story was awful, and you can definitely see where Butcher gets his hate from, and kind of understand it a bit, you know. I understand it. It's definitely to the extreme, you know, this blanket statement that all soups are universally bad is... I wouldn't agree with that, obviously, you know, but I can understand where his hate comes from and why he is so hateful against them. But yeah, like every story we hear of Homelander in this show is just fucking awful. Awful. He just gets worse and worse every single episode. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. The Starlight and Huey stuff was good again. I'm for them. I don't know the timeline since the show started. I assume it's been a few months, you know. I would think he probably jumped into it too fast with Starlight. But people grieve and people process stuff at different speeds, you know. And if it has been a few months is not a short amount of time. But I'm glad I'm glad they seem to be getting together anyway, you know, because I've been for them for the start. I think they're very similar, and I think they both need each other at this time, you know. Like, I don't know what Starlight would have done had she not had Huey in these last few weeks or months, however long it's been. So I'm glad with what's happening with them. So Homelander, the dino blowjob gestures at the start of the episode were very inappropriate, especially for the video he was doing and the child was in front of him. I'll start with that. Also, had a lot of stuff written down about his family, but we found out that was all bullshit. I should have expected that, honestly, because it's Vought, you know. Everything they do is just fake shit to prop up the heroes and appeal to certain demographics and shit and certain people. But I have a mad theory about the Soups and Homelander and why he is the way he is, and the blanket. Like, is there a situation where he was left somewhere in just the blanket, and that's why he hates it? It's the only thing that's real from his life, from his past, and maybe whoever left him somewhere, that's why he hates the blanket, because it belonged to the person who left him, you know, that kind of way. Like, what if... Because they said all the Soups... All the Soups that are here all have personal records, and they can all be traced back to somewhere that may have gotten the V or whatever. Homelander doesn't have a personal record. He doesn't have a history. Could Homelander be the first Soup? Here's my mad theory, right? Off the top of my head. What if Homelander's the first Soup? He's born. He displays some superpowers His parents freak out, don't know what to do. Leave him somewhere wrapped in a towel. Maybe Stillwell gets him, right? Because it looked like he was contained. It looked like he was in a contained place there, right? So he's put in that, he's studied, he's experimented on. They make V from his blood. They create other soups. Maybe that's why he has a connection to Stillwell. Maybe she is the one that basically raised him, you know, because we saw there, he didn't have parents. He was locked in a room. That's my theory. That's my theory on what's going on in the show so far with the V and Homelander. And if that is the case, it's honestly kind of sad. You know, you'd feel kind of bad for Homelander. I just penned myself in the neck. You'd feel kind of bad for Homelander because it just means that it wasn't technically his fault for the way he turned out, you know. His upbringing very much could have affected what happened, and it'd be Stillwell and Vaught's fault. It'd be interesting if he was the first and he was the basis for Vought, you know, and everything that they have and have become. If that's not it, I don't have a fucking clue. But that's for me, that's the only thing I can think of based on what we got this episode, you know. Because he was contained. He had the blue blanket. He was contained in a unit. It looks like they had him in there either for their protection or just to contain him, to experiment on him and test him out and that, you know. That might be why he is the first. He's the number one, and that's why he's the strongest as well, you know. Yeah, that is my theories. That is my reaction. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We will be back next week with another reaction to The Boys. I'm also reacting to Castlevania and WandaVision. If you're interested in them, I have 3 episodes of WandaVision out. The 4th one is out in a few days, so I will be doing that. Let me know what you thought about this episode down below in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll see you next time. Later.
So I could soothe your frightened mind and let our souls collide. Rising tide so we can ride away.